Hi everyone and welcome back to the Warthog project. Today I'm just going to do a quick update for the month of August 2019. Some changes I've made around the cockpit. Nothing really major at this stage. First one being I changed the mounts on the projectors. I didn't actually change the mounts, I just added the extension arms in them. The reason I did that was by lowering the projectors a little bit. I managed to reduce the amount of stretching at the bottom here, and it just made the picture a bit better. Because they were mounted so high, the projection surface down the bottom here was stretched out long, so the resolution suffered a little bit just on the edges down here. So by lowering that projector down, it sort of corrected that by moving it in, if that makes sense. In the perfect world, you'd want these projectors to be down and level with the top of this screen, and then you would have basically no warping in the vertical axis on it. The reason you can't do that is because if I mounted them down here, they would be casting a shadow where my head sits about there, and you'd end up with a shadow like that on the screen where my head is. So there's a fine line between having them at the perfect height and having them just high enough so my head doesn't cause a shadow, or parts of the cockpit don't cause a shadow. So I've changed those projector mounts. I have added a cup holder because why not? That cup holder was actually from a Butto Ozone, the old one. All I've done is drilled them inside there, and I mounted it on the outside so that if I do spill a drink, it doesn't fall into the electronics, it just falls harmlessly down the side here. That's the only real things I've updated. I'm in the process of changing the sound system around. I was going to buy some fancy speakers to mount in the roof here, but I've since decided that I will just modify the Logitech speakers and mount them in the roof. Alright guys, so today what I'm going to do is just do a quick flight and bomb some targets and then land again. I'm in a multiplayer server at the moment, Hoggit, the training server. I just wanted to point out a few things that I've changed in the cockpit. A lot of people in the comments were asking me how I look behind me and up above me. Because I've obviously only got a 180 degree view, and in combat you have to look behind you and up a lot. The answer to that is TrackIR. A lot of you saw TrackIR in the other videos. It used to be mounted up there. I've moved it down here only because I'm using a Track Clip Pro at the moment on my headset. I usually wear the Track Hat clip with a baseball hat. It's a lot easier wearing that, and the camera up there, when it's mounted just there, can pick up the baseball hat a lot easier. But because I'm wearing headphones at the moment, I'm going with this down here. The reason I'm wearing headphones at the moment is because I'm using DCS simple radios, so all the radios work in the multiplayer environment as they do in the real aircraft. Change a channel there, it changes the channel on DCS simple radios. I've actually got the overlay bound just there, as you can see. They're all reading 0 at the moment because the aircraft is turned off. There's someone taking off, that's pretty cool. Alright, so to set up the TrackIR, I've actually just remapped a couple of my HOTAS commands. So the pinky switch now unpauses it. So you can see, sorry, I'm having a hard time holding the camera and not blocking the thing. So basically I just hit the pinky switch and it will lock it. That means when I'm looking down in the cockpit or looking down here and changing things, this is not doing crazy stuff like this every time I look down, if you know what I mean. It frustrates the crap out of me. And I've also got the large paddle here as the center. So basically I can center it, lock it, and then when I can move my head freely, and I only really need to unlock it and use TrackIR when I'm in a dogfight or something crazy like that. If I want to look over my shoulder here, I can. If I want to peer around, I can. That sort of stuff. It gets a little bit disorientating having such a large projection surface and constantly moving your head around like this, which is why I choose most of the time to have it locked, center and locked, and then I don't have to deal with that nausea and I can just unlock it when I need it. Alright, so what we'll do now is start up this bad boy and take off. So we'll go battery power, inverter standby, and then we'll head over here and we'll turn on the APU. Wait for that gauge to get to about 100. Alright, so while we're waiting for that, we'll come over here, we'll turn all the boost pumps on. We'll turn on the yaw and pitch SAS. As soon as that hits 100, we can get electrical power. It's about starting out, that's that. Cool. So once I hit the APU gen power, that'll turn on electrical power and you'll see all the gauges come to life. There we go. Now we've got electrical power. I'm going to turn on the CDU. I'll also just cycle the light switch on the thing there to make sure we got lights on the throttle, and then I'll turn the position flashlights on and the lights should start flashing. Just check that by going to the F2. Yep, lights are flashing. Oxygen on. Turn on our radios. Okay, so now that we've got electrical power, we'll start up this engine right here. We'll see it'll go to engine start cycle, and the engine will, left engine will kick in. There we go. And then turn these on. Put that to test and my HUD will turn on. Turn on our MFDs. There's a Vigan taxiing past. That's pretty cool. So now if I have our left engine, I'll just check the radios. So you can see that's the overlay for DCS simple radios, and I can toggle them as you can in the real one with that. So that's your front one, middle one, rear one. It's cool. Engage our bit test. There's a frog foot starting up next to me. We will close our canopy. Back that, load all on the MFDs. I'll turn on the countermeasure system.
Pull up, pull up.
Of course there's an F14, why wouldn't there be?
Altitude, altitude.
What's that taking off? It's pretty populated, this server today. Alright, so both of our engines, you can see the engine start lights off, and both of our engines are stable, so I can turn on both left and right generators, and I'll turn off the APU generator, and I can shut down the APU. I'll arm the ejection seat with that lever just there, and I'll flick the anti-skid on, landing lights on, no failures on the HUD, so I can enter and just flick the HUD on. I'll uncage the standby attitude indicator. Right. Now we're just waiting for the, you can see this is flashing now, so the INS system has aligned. So I'll just push that over to nav, and I'll just put my nav mode system panel to the EGI. Right, so this should be all loaded up now. Weapons there, TAD. Just verify there's a flight plan by flicking that to flight plan, and you can see the line popped up when I flicked that. I can mirror the CDU, but what I will do is turn on the TGP, and then the targeting pod will time out, and I'm carrying Maverick, so I might as well get them aligned as well. And then I just forgot the EAC and the ground collision. Anyway, so you can see that all my lights are out, which means I'm pretty much good to go. Oxygen's on. Alright. What we'll do now is taxi out. You know, I mentioned I've remapped these ones on my HOTAS for TrackIR, so I've lost the noseable steering button. I've just programmed the noseable steering button up here. You don't really use it that often, it's only for taxiing on the ground and for lasing stuff, so I've just moved it to there. I'll change the label later on. Alright, let's go out. Put my throttles together. I would normally jump on the simple radios and tell everyone that I'm taxiing and that sort of stuff, but there's only 5 people on it for some reason today, and most of them are down in the carrier, so I'm not going to mess with them. I'll just do what I want. So it's pretty easy for me to unpause TrackIR if I want to look around. I can look over my shoulder there. I'm still working out the profile. Sorry, I'm not on center line because I'm moving my head. I'm still trying to work out the profile a bit, so when I look sort of hard right, I just want the back of the engine to be sort of on that end of the screen, if that makes sense. So I don't have to turn my head as much, it gets a bit nauseating. Go over there and take off with that. Frog foot. Righto. Sit behind him and see if he wants to do a formation takeoff. Alright, I'm going to lock this up the front. That'll be an F14 shooting stuff, just for something different. Alright, we'll park it just behind him. And we will set our flaps for takeoff. We will make sure the APU's off. We'll turn on pitot heat. Collision lights on. I have to cycle them. There we go. Collision lights on. Position flash to steady. He's going to take off, and I'll do the same thing behind him. I was hoping he'd wait for me so I could do a bit of formation takeoff, but I won't. What I'll do now is I'll quickly just hold here, and I will put this in a head mount. Oh, fuck, what's he doing? Alright, so it looks like he just did something crazy. There's just a vegan doing crazy shit on the runway. Into the brake. So I'm sure you can see why I don't... This is why I don't use TrackIR when I'm filming videos for YouTube, because my camera is head mounted, so you'll see when I move my head, TrackIR moves my view, but my eyes are still looking, you know what I mean? My eyes aren't, yeah, you get what I mean, because because the camera is mounted to my head, and when I turn my head, it turns the view, it looks all weird, but my eyes are still looking center, if you know what I mean, when I'm using TrackIR. So I'll pause that. Right, let's go. I think we've got a clear runway here, or maybe not, hold for traffic. Oh yeah, he's going around. Kill my emergency flight too. I'm supposed to turn my TrackIR off. Nozzle steering off. flood up a little bit. A little bit of flood lighting. Alright, so let's fence in because the targets are just over there. Master arm, gun arm, laser arm. Might select some Mavericks. Flip the TGP to air to ground. I'll flick this little switch here which turns all my lights off. And then we'll just bank out here.
Pull up, pull up.
Right. Just go and have a look over there. Cursor over here. Let's see if we can't find a target. There's just a bunch of BTRs around here. Although there is something pinging. So what I will do now is just put the autopilot on altitude, and that will hold me in a nice bank around the target, and I can concentrate on this without worrying about crashing. Looks like somebody's already done all the AA out here. What's that there? Oh, you'll do me first. So you're my SPE. And I will just change this one so it's got Mavericks on it. So I can lock up both. We will turn into him. Set my soy is the left MFD. And if we were that one, we just go rifle. And I'll peel away. And we'll keep an eye on this one here. Kaboom! Target will be this BTR right here, I think. Same thing again. Just reset my gimbal.
Warning, autopilot.
Lock it up. Check that out. Rifle. I should really turn off the labels because it's cheating. So we're just keeping it basic today. I'm not ripple firing him or doing anything crazy like that. Just doing the basics. Boom. else have we got? Another one just there. He'll do me for my next one. Turn that off. No one's on simple radios for some reason today, so
Pull up, pull up.
and we will just lock that in. What's happening here? Forgot to lock that up. Rifle, and then I might just do a quick reacquire with this. Sorry, lock up that rifle. Bang.
Pull up, pull up.
And bang. Got them both. Who's that? That is a, I don't know, something taking an interest in me. Must be a manpad
Pull
down
up,
there.
pull up.
Alright, so let's fire up our rockets. I've got, this is loose like this only because I had it out because I was designing my other one and I couldn't be bothered taking the whole panel off to get it back in properly. But anyway, we just go bang, bang, bang. We go profile, ripple pairs. We'll fire 8 at once. Save that. So now every time I squeeze the tit, it'll shoot 8 rockets in pairs, like that. Righto, so let's just go and do some rockets runs. So if I want to unpause TrackIR to take a peek over my shoulder, I just push that button right there, and wouldn't you know, it's failed on me. It does that a lot in DCS. When you don't use it for some reason, the program restarts and then, I don't know, it's a pain in my ass. Anyway, alright, fuck that. Let's just go in and nail some of these guys. So we'll throttle back and we will wait till I get him about here, like a little bit of rudder. It's in CCIP in it. Yep, right about here. And we will go rockets. And we will also give him some guns because we're a Warthog and why not?
Pull up, pull up.
It might actually be a double A. A Shilka still out there. I didn't see any. This is why I need TrackIR. I don't know why it's failed on me because I'm still ironing out problems. Who knows? Going for some more, I think. Oh yeah, I nailed him. Let's find another one. I think it's not actually AA, I think it's just these BTRs. CCIP.
Pull up, pull up.
And then we will... There he is. Give him some first. And then we will give him some guns. Oh, that's the Warthog for you.
Pull up, pull up.
Still shooting at me.
Pull up, pull up. Pull up, pull up.
That's annoying me. I forgot to set the alt alert on that 200. That 5,000. How much? We have, oh yeah, 5 rockets left. This is really annoying me how this this MFD is rocking around. I'll fix that up tomorrow.
Pull up, pull up.
This guy here keeps shooting at me.
Pull up, pull up. Pull up, pull up.
Ooh. Looks like I'm not showing you a landing after all. I wanted to show you a landing, but looks like it wasn't meant to be.